Hello, everyone. Want to make a small little announcement before we kick off with the interview. This video was made last night, June 11th, and just want to say that because the big news today is that BWC was confirmed, and the itinerary is up. Like everything is good. Everything is good to go. It was never officially canceled. Just people weren't aware of what was going on because they weren't able to get in contact with the overall organizer. But it's all good now. It's all solid. I just wanted to bring that up because towards the end of the video, we discussed it a little bit, but you can ignore that part and just hopefully overall just enjoy the show. And if you're going to BWC, enjoy that as well. All right. Hope you enjoy the show. Take care. Hello for gaming community and Beyblade community as a whole. We're here for back-to-back podcast episodes. I say back-to-back, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna upload this the day right after we did Alan Schaefer's or not. But I am excited for this episode. So our guest today, another very special guest. He's made a lot of great comments on a lot of our videos. He's had a lot of great insight for like the WBO community, the competitive scene. He's also got a really cool YouTube channel. So I'm glad to get up here and talk to him today. To get to know him a little bit better, let you all get to know him a little bit better, and yeah, we'll go from there. So without further ado, welcome. We have Endev. Let's go ahead and say hello and introduce yourself.
Hello, hi to the listeners of For Gaming Podcast.
Yeah. Solid. Thank you. So we'll kick it right off. I guess. How'd you get involved in the Beyblade, and what's your story behind that?
Okay, so when I was the first, what's this? I get to know Beyblade when I was a kid through the anime, but
Mhm.
I was not able to watch it consistently because I think on our area, on our location, the one that got more popular was the mini four-wheel drive. I don't know. Are you familiar with that? By Tamiya?
No, I don't think so. You said it was called what
Yeah,
again?
it's a mini four-wheel drive.
No, I
That's
don't.
because it also has its own anime, and then you customize the cars, uh,
Mhm.
like the wheels, just like Beyblade. You customize. You have the customization, the option to customize it, and it
Oh,
also
that's
has anime, and because by that time Beyblade, there was an anime of Beyblade, but there was no competitive scene on my area.
Mhm.
And the one that became more popular was the mini four-wheel drive, where I also competed on that. I, and I remember the most notable prize I won that time was a DVD player. You know, you know that before DVD players was a big thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
you're familiar. Yeah, but
So
I
this
think that
is uh you telling your age. I'm a you don't have to
I
say
think
your
there's
age if
some.
you don't want to,
Yeah,
but yeah. But so did that come out back when did it come out when Beyblade came out? Like was this early 2000s or late
um,
90s?
I don't remember exactly, but I think it's at the same time, or maybe I don't remember exactly if it was like at the same time, or if Beyblade was the first one, or if Mini Four Wheel Drive was the first one. But I think they came out at almost at the same time, and I'm not sure actually.
Mini four-wheel drive.
Yeah,
I don't
the company is Tamiya, the most popular one.
okay.
Tamiye. Yeah,
Okay.
and then there was also the anime. I think the key to this like Beyblade is the anime, so that you
Yeah.
can connect to the toy, and then you get curious what it's like to be in real life. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
and
100%
then
agree with that. Oh no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
okay, yeah. So and then fast forward to like I think 2000, 2022. I think yeah,
Hmm.
that's the when I no 2021. That's when I start. when I went to Walmart with my family, I saw this Motor Strike Stadium by Hasbro, the one with the one something spinning in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
the stadium that has the red spinning thing at the middle. So that got my attention, and so yeah, that I bought that one and I played it with my son, and
Was it the
yeah, that
Hypersphere?
I'm not sure if it is a hypersphere, but the one with the red, the motor strike, the one with the battery that comes with that you can turn on so that the middle part will there's a rotating part at the middle.
Okay, yeah, that's like the miso. I don't think I know how to pronounce it correctly. I think it's um Misu Stadium or MISOU, I believe it is. But yeah, I know which one
Yeah.
you're talking about.
And it was on clearance sale, like $18 from like $60. So
Yeah.
so 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 that's when me and my kids started like playing Beyblade and also going back to the anime.
All right.
And
Well, that's
then yeah, go on, sorry.
no. You good? You good? Nah, go. You good?
So then after that, I started doing research on the Beyblade because I know that when I was a kid and I want to know what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that led me to researching and finding out about the Takara Tomy base, and then what really got me even more curious are the gimmicks of the base of the Beyblades.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a jumping Beyblade, there's a Beyblade that has what's this, a projectile shield like that. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's and
Like Phoenix
then
armor.
yeah, that one, the Prominence Phoenix, the Savior Valkyrie, like
Mm-hmm.
those gimmicks were the gimmicks are what actually like makes it more interesting. Like how does you get curious? How does it actually works, or how does it perform in an actual play like that?
Mm-hmm.
So then then I decided to to like collect because I played it also with my son. So we collected and started doing like as a hobby or collection or collecting Beyblade. And then when as I was so I'm doing research with Beyblade, and then like I stumbled upon a Gundam ASMR unboxing or build. You know that? Are you familiar with that? Have you
Say that
watched
one again.
Gundam or Gunpla? The
You said,
Gundam,
oh, Gundam? Yeah.
yeah, Gundam.
Yeah.
Sorry if
I'm real familiar with Gundam. It was
sorry if you are.
yeah, I'm real familiar. I am familiar with that anime. It was a big deal when I was um younger. It was one of the Toonami releases.
Yeah,
Well,
so
Toonami didn't produce it, but it came on Toonami
yeah,
with Dragon Ball Z and
yeah,
Yu Yu Hakusho and all the other
yeah,
cool shows when I was younger.
yeah. That's also my thing. Those
Oh, you love
that helps
Gundams?
that
Yeah.
yeah. Like you call it Yu Yu Hakusho, right? In our place, it was titled as Ghost Fighter.
Ghost Rider for Yu Yu Hakusho?
Ghost Fighter.
Oh, Ghost Fighter. Oh, that makes
Yeah,
sense. The spirit detective. So he
yeah,
was, I mean, pretty much
yeah,
dead and then fighting in
yeah,
a spiritual world. So yeah, I can see
yeah.
that.
So
So,
going back to the Gundam, so I saw this like the ASMR videos of the Gundams,
hmm
and then I like in that moment I I had like a light bulb moment when you suddenly
hmm
get an idea that
hmm
why not do this kind of content, but instead of Gundam, do it on Beyblade.
yeah, yeah.
So that and since I'm buying the Beyblades, why not also make videos when I'm unboxing it?
hmm
So yeah, that led to my channel. Like all my initial videos were all about ASMR unboxings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I saw.
So
Um,
okay, go on.
do you mainly focus on, is it Hasbro and Takartomi, or do you have a preference for either one?
At first, only Takara. Then when I bought some Pro Series, I also did the unboxing videos for them.
Mm-hmm.
But the first so after the Motor Strike Stadium, the first few base that I bought was actually a quad drive base.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but after research, yeah, I saw then I saw that though better invest on this Takara Beyblades.
Yeah. Yeah. Takartomi is. I like Hasbro. Hasbro is what I initially got into. Of course, which I think majority of us over here initially get into Hasbro because that's what we can pick up in our local stores. And
Yeah,
then once we start doing our research, especially as dads, that's when we find out about Takartomi, because I had
yeah,
no clue about Takartomi until I started doing research, until I started finding out about like the competitive scene and things of that nature. But before then, it was just like, just Hasbro
yeah,
100% all the way. So majority of your YouTube channel, yeah, because I definitely want to learn about that. It's mainly just unboxing. I did see that you had a tournament recently though.
yeah.
How?
So okay, go. So when up, wait, can I continue on the
Oh yeah,
YouTube
yeah, yeah.
channel
My
first?
bad, my bad. I cut you off. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm thinking which one to
Yeah.
if I continue or if I answer your question.
No, no, you're good. You could go. Yeah, continue
Okay,
on to what you were saying. We can come back.
okay. So the so I did this unboxing videos, and I break it down also to shorts, and then posted it also on Instagram and TikTok, and on by that like after a few months, that's the time when Conce from of Beyblade Premier saw my
Mhm.
saw what I'm posting on Instagram, and he contacted me and offered me a partnership for his YouTube channel, the Beyblade Premier
Mhm.
channel.
Mhm.
So that's why. So I stopped. So yeah. So we partnered, and then I was actually the one doing like from to August 2022 until this February 2023. Yeah, I was the
Oh,
one posting like doing the videos on Beyblade Premiere channel.
oh, dang! I didn't know that. That's big
Yeah. So
news. Yeah.
my initial my personal channel get I stopped it for when I started doing videos on Beyblade Premiere. So I stopped on my personal channel.
Oh,
Then
okay.
after because I stopped and then I went to Beyblade. So from that time period, I was the one doing all those videos. Like I carry over because he liked the unboxing videos that I was doing before. He
Mhm.
wanted it to do it also in his channel. So he offered me a partnership, and then there.
Sweet. I didn't know that. I did see a lot of the unboxing
Yeah.
videos, because well, I won't say a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not on YouTube as much as I used to be, but I have seen some of his unboxing, and it was around that time, because I know he was going for a little bit in early of last year, and then he um he returned back, and I know his channel had came back, and I was seeing the unboxing and things like that. I didn't know you were
And
doing that, man. So that's solid. Sorry you had to
how's
put your
the
stuff on hold, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Also the online tournaments, everything that like posted from like I started there like it was around 300 sub. He already had that channel, so like it started it had around 300 subs.
Hmm.
Then by the time I ended it last February, I made it like to 3,000 something.
Hey, you're
Then
doing it. You're doing the thing. You helped them grow a lot. Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty what's up. Yeah, you have
but
you have great content, and you're a great video creator.
but the reason I stopped doing videos for Beyblade premieres because my camera broke, and then I
Oh,
had to do some family. I had to focus on family matters, so
oh yeah.
so that's why I stopped last February, and then until recently I went back to my own YouTube channel.
Okay. Okay. So you said until recently, so are you doing the premiere videos now or gonna start back up?
Uh, I don't know. I think you already know that it's hard to
Yeah.
contact Consider
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, that is facts. I don't know if you yeah, episode that we just did, I
Yeah, I heard the
yeah,
Alan Schiffer episode. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've known Conch not super long. I won't say super long, but I've known him since he's been involved in the Beyblade community. So uh, it, like I said, like last year he had a hiatus too. And this one I don't know. I don't know what happened last year, but I know what happened this year, or I think I know at least
Yeah.
from what he put out. And just know he goes. Everyone has their moments, but we'll see. But regardless, on to it's solid that you are a great. I think you're a great video creator, especially gaining 1,700 subscribers within a matter of months. Um, you have really good content, and I've seen your videos also, and great that you're able to get your camera back, and also shout out to you too for taking care of family. I say that, man. I put family first. Like family will always be first. I love what I do. Like I love like my real life career, dealing with the store, doing the Beyblade things, but my family, when they need me, and that comes first. I respect that.
Yeah.
Um,
Thanks. And then so going back to your question about the tournament. So that's the like our third tournament here in Arizona. The first one was around November 2022. Then after that is I think January.
mhm,
We because we only have one organizer here, Jartini King
mhm,
in Arizona. So that's our so the third tournament was just recently, like last month in May.
mhm. Are they
Yeah,
WBO tournaments or are they
yeah.
something?
The only Jartini King is the WBO organizer.
Okay,
Some had tried to, I think some had tried to apply already as an organizer, but for now we only have Dratini King as the organizer.
okay, okay. I um I recently like I got a buddy I work with. I was talking to him, and I was talking to him about Beyblade, and he said his brother-in-law was very big into Beyblade, and he told me where he was, and he's actually in Arizona. And I was like, that's so cool because I'm getting to talk to you today, um, in your area. And I don't know how far he is from you, but if they are close and y'all have another tournament, I'll try to send them y'all's way, if anything, to help out with y'all's community. And I know there was with the organizer process. I don't know if you knew this too, but there was a big hold on a lot of
Yeah,
things.
because
Yeah,
I think there are two or three that tried to apply for as an organizer, but yeah, so it didn't went through. That's why we only have for now we only have one organizer.
yeah, yeah. I had a buddy in Georgia. He just became an organizer. He had been waiting, man, I want to say since like February or March, and it just went through because yet again someone was on a hiatus. I'm not sure, and a lot of the organizers weren't getting like they're testing everything, we're getting processed, but not the final call to make them organizers. And I think some things were done to get a big sweep of people done, but I don't think they completed everyone. And um, yeah, That's that's another thing. But yeah, go. I guess I don't want to cut you off fully. Yeah, go on more about your channel and
The
get to your
community.
competitive scene out there.
Yeah. So what I like about so our community, Beyblade community here is young, but I think it has a lot of potential because so we had three tournaments. Like we have maybe a core of 5 to 6 or maybe players that are present every tournament. And then each tournament there are new people uh, joining. Like in the first tournament we had how many was that? 9, and then the second we had around 14, I think, and then this last tournament we had 13. But from those three tournaments, like there are common group of people like 5 or 6, and then the
Mm,
rest as there's always someone new. So that
yeah.
means that maybe at some point we get the same if our like this is a schedule meet up, and maybe at some time we will have more people at the same time joining at the same time.
Yes. That will be solid. How far between do you have tournaments? Like, are they monthly or
Like the not monthly, like every 2 months, or for at least for
every?
at the last three tournaments. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the first one was November, like late November. Second is like late January. Then yeah, there was a big gap, January, then May.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I noticed with my local community, we're doing a whole lot better now. We have two active organizers right now, um, and it's helping. But I noticed when I wasn't hosting tournaments as often, it was dwindling down. But the more that I was able to host, the more it was able to keep the regulars coming back because they were looking forward to next month and or just soon and having that community there. So I do hope that the other organizers could get approved because I know it's very heavy for one person to do it or be accountable
Yeah,
for.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, because it's basically the schedule. Our schedule is dependent on the single organizer that we have. But
Hmm.
maybe if we have other organizers, like I think if there will be a schedule every month, the
Hmm.
community will always. I feel that will be always present on whoever organizes the tournament.
Yes. Yes. 100%. 100%. Um, I wanted to ask because I know you mentioned before that you kind of got involved with Beyblade with 2021 with your son.
Yeah.
Yes, and from the research, is that how you came across like the WBO and all the competition and how are you enjoying it? And is that how you came to
Yeah.
be with the WBO?
Um, that time there was no because so the first tournament was last November of 2022. So
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
maybe it was I got to know the organizer through the Beyblade Premier Discord, and then uh, and then also through the WBO website. But yeah, but initially I got to know the Tini King in the Beyblade Premier Discord, and then after our first tournament, he also set up uh, uh, a Discord for the Arizona players or
Hmm.
Bladers.
Yeah.
So, but what's this? So when I started partnership with Conce, he also like I was also helping him behind the scenes, like because sometimes he is asking for for some comments or some suggestions, like what do you think? What's this? The last time the team Palooza there,
Yeah,
like
Team Palooza.
what do you
Yeah.
think? What do you so whenever if he needs suggestions or comments about something, then I'm I'm also giving him some like advice or what I think,
Oh,
or giving my insights like that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess through that that's the how I help behind the scenes, since
That,
that time we don't have any competitive scene here in Arizona.
okay. Okay.
So, and also like with the BWC. because I also did some videos before for the BWC, and also for the Team Palooza, explain like videos explaining some of the events of how it will be played, like that.
Solid, solid. I know when I talked to him, because when I talked to him when we were talking about the circuit and BWC and trying to get like just one event, he told me that he did have a friend or someone that was helping him with some formats and things. It could have been you. I'm not sure if it was anybody else, but do you know? I know this is probably off topic. It just came to my head because I know everyone has been questioning about it. Did you help with the formats at BWC? Do you have more insight on what they're really going to be
Okay.
or to play?
I sent him a suggestion, like a suggested format, but
Yeah.
what's this? So I only send suggestions, but it's still up to him to decide what what he will gonna take, or like for example, the my suggestion was like so we have pick three choose one. We have these different match types, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my suggestion was like there is one tournament for a pick three choose one, like for example in Hasbro Pro Series, because that time it became what's this legal stadium for WBO, right? Around that time.
Mm-hmm.
So then one tournament in like 3v3 in standard stadium, and then one tournament in DB Stadium using WBA 5G.
Okay.
Then so for each tournament, whoever what's this there will be a point system, like the top 8 or top 16. For
Mm-hmm.
example, the number 1 will have 10 points, and so to number 2 will have 8 points, and like that. So there's each tournament, each format, there will be like you can gain points. So by the end of the, I think I suggested 4 formats. I don't remember exactly,
Mm-hmm.
but so after doing all those formats, like the top 8 or top 16 point getters, they will do this like the main event. So they battle in like the single elimination with different. So each, like the round of 16 will be pick three choose one in Hasbro Pro Series Stadium. The round of 8 will be the in DB Stadium using WBBA, and then the last until the last one is the WBO tech format, something like that. So I
Okay.
guess the idea, it's not exactly the the final BWC format, but I think he got the ideas and made it as his own, something like that.
Yeah.
So he takes some concept, and then he present it in a different way, like that.
Mhm. That's solid. That's solid. I think you were who he was talking about because he did talk to me about the formats and this structure. I believe at one point it was on WhatsApp when we talked, and he hit me up and I hit him back a little bit later, and then the communication kind of stopped, and that was a while ago. But regardless, it was I think it was, and I'll tell you, we don't have a whole lot of listeners to um our podcast, but we do some. So I would imagine that people are probably gonna be blowing up your inbox or hitting you up asking you like how things are gonna be ran after this, because you have very good insight on it. Um, even if you don't know the full way that he's gonna do it in the end, they're probably
Yeah.
gonna be asking you questions on like, hey man, what's going on? So um it's very good to hear that because I didn't know that. I didn't know you were involved with the BWC or had the partnership of running it. Um, and that's
My partnership was only actually on the YouTube channel, but I'm also helping in any way I can
mhm.
to in his tournaments, and like some sort of advice or yeah, like that. Like if he asking for to comment
Like,
on some
I-
things or what I or insights like that. So that's like what I do.
that's solid. That's solid, man. Um, to get on, I guess. Well, I guess we kind of covered a hit up on the competitive scene or like it, but can you tell me about like? I guess I want to hear about your last tournament. Like, what's Arizona like in your competitive scene? Like, are y'all highly competitive? Is it more like just friendly battles, or how's it go on out there?
I think for those that uh, I think it's a mix because there's always someone new coming, so they are testing new their own lineups. But for
Hmm.
yeah, like for those who already like started from the first tournament, so we already have like our own lineups that are that we improved on because like for the recent tournament, the top four was like also the top four in the previous no, not the top four also like the top four in this third tournament, it was composed of people from the top four in first tournament and top four in second tournament,
Okay.
like that.
Mm,
So yeah. So there's always someone new joining, but at the final stage, like it was there are common people meeting on the top stage on the
okay.
final stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of somehow like a mix because there's always someone new joining or new to the community. So
Hmm. What is your like personal outlook on the meta, or like how do you play? Are you super competitive, or you just play for fun?
yeah, because uh, competitive, and at the same time, I like to try some things or new things, or like for example, in the tree. So out of the three based on my lineup, I have two that is already tried and tested, like the guilty combo and the wind combo, and then I mixed it up with one combo that I wanted to study or to improve on, like the burst Helios.
Hmm.
So that's how. So I mix. I also like at least two that I'm already comfortable or I know that is solid, and then I mix it up with one that I
Hmm.
want to test or something or to try or to study like that.
Hmm. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. I didn't honestly. I don't think I knew. I don't think I saw any tournaments in Arizona. I guess I think until I recently saw your post, I think, or your video for it on your channel, because I know the combos are real unique. Um, or I thought they were unique. I think Crisis Crusher commented also to see if it was a WBO event. Um, I can't remember exactly what happened in the video I saw, but I thought it was really cool. And it's great. It's solid to see that I guess just the community, the competitive scene is spreading overall, like regardless of WBO, WBBA, just people getting out and playing Beyblade in general. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm helping grow our community here through my YouTube channel because one funny story is so after the first tournament I made a video, then someone commented on one of my videos saying that he will join the next tournament.
Hmm.
So he went to the second tournament, and eventually we met on the finals.
Oh,
That
you did?
the one that commented on my YouTube channel, and he swept me in the finals 5-0
Oh man. Oh
using
man.
his guilty longness combo.
He was
And
like,
then
I'm
we
gonna
met,
come, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna win. Oh man.
and, and then we met again here in the third tournament in the semifinals in the top four. But yeah, I beat him this time. I was prepared this time
Oh yeah, yeah.
for
You
his
can't lose
guilty.
twice, man. You can't lose twice, especially after getting swept.
And also, after that second tournament, another one commented that he will join the third tournament. And then I met him also on that tournament, but unfortunately he wasn't able to reach the top four. But yeah, I think almost every hopefully this after this third tournament, someone sees my video again, and then that will lead them to join our tournaments, for the fourth time.
Yeah, yeah. I know this wasn't on the list of topics, but how do you view? Because I greatly appreciate the YouTubers, well, in general, for growing and helping grow Beyblade. Um, but I know I'm more involved in the competitive scene, so I am tremendously appreciative of those that show that there is a competitive aspect within Beyblade and there's competitive community um, worldwide, or more, I would say, on the Western Hemisphere, because I think more towards Asia, like um, there's a lot more going on with the WBBA, but it's not as well known as it is over here. So I appreciate that. And I guess my question is, like, how do you feel, or do you see an impact from like YouTubers such as yourself, or other social platforms for helping grow the community? Do you see that, or you have any tips or advice to help with that?
Yeah, because I think we are in the era right now of social media, where social media is like becoming a basic skill that you should know, or like how to, yeah, how YouTube works, how Instagram works. We are on the because before it was like when Beyblade started, I think social media wasn't a thing. Now it's a really big thing, and it helps reach other people. Like, yeah, for in my case, I was able to reach other people to join our tournaments here in Arizona and grow the community.
Okay.
And yeah, I think what what's this? Forgot what I'm going to say. What
It's all good.
was
It happens. I did want to take a second, let y'all know, Crisis Crusher wasn't up here because he was having a tournament today in Maryland, like it was talked about, and I let you know that as well. But he did just message me. He's going to try to hop in here, because I'm sure he'd like to talk to you about your competitive community as well in a little bit. But continue to go on. I know you were saying that you think in the age of social media that it is very beneficial and very helpful to the community, because it's the thing to do right now, or it's the way we pretty much communicate and advertise. Um, Most things is on social media platforms.
yeah, not only in Beyblades, but like in almost everything.
Yeah.
Everything you see, you can watch it on YouTube. Every like if you have question in mind, you just search it in YouTube, then you'll or any social media
Mm-hmm.
platform, and you'll have your answer there.
Mm-hmm.
So and maybe there are other people that's like that also share the same passion in Beyblade. So if you have those videos, when they search something for it, it will help you connect to those people.
Yeah,
And
100%.
now it's and also now we have, aside from the long form, and we also have the shorts. Since most people now have phones, unlike before that they only few have phones, or like most people before are most of the time are using either laptop or a desktop. But now, like, I feel that it's more also on the mobile phone side. So that's why my videos, or I think I can also advise those aspiring YouTubers that for me, I have a long form video, which I break it down into shorts to
Mm-hmm.
cater for those people that prefers the long form videos, and also to cater for those people that likes it in shorts. And
Mm-hmm.
from my experience, like if you want to gain more subscriber, you need to do good in the shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's the key on gaining. If you want to grow your subscriber count, the shorts is really the key.
I've seen that with the shorts. I'm old. I'm not like super old, but I am older. But I've seen the growth of YouTube. Like I was here before YouTube came out, and I see the shorts now. The way that the shorts are, and you're just scrolling up. I feel like I'm on Instagram or Facebook, and it's like it's easy to watch it. So yeah, I've been guilty of that myself. I subscribe to a whole lot more just from looking at that, just from a little bit of content. But I never thought about that as being um helpful in the way that it is to grow your subscribers. So that's something really cool. It's something like
Right.
solid to look at.
But the what's this, the watch hours, you still need to do the long form videos. So
Hmm.
for me, it should be a balance between the shorts and the long form videos.
Mm,
At least that's what I did in on my own channel and on Beyblade Premier's channel.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I know up here, like mainly all I really do is podcasts. I don't really have the unboxings. We did that, I think, when I started, but I don't have time to more so the time to sit down and edit. And I really enjoy the podcast because I like just talking. Um, and getting to know the community and hearing about it. But I may start trying to edit, I guess, some clips so people could see some things that we talk about a little bit. That's whatever's intriguing. But this isn't about me. This is about the community, I guess, as a whole and promoting Beyblade and the competitive nature of it. I really appreciate that input. Yeah.
Very good.
Hey, go
Sorry.
ahead. Were you about to say something?
No, sorry. No.
Um, so I guess I wanted to ask. So it came I know the topic was what was your thoughts on WBO versus WBBA, and I don't know if you made the comment a couple of times, but I remember your last one when you talked about the WBO being a community more so than like community rules versus more so like the I don't want to say
Sorry.
organization rules or do you know what comment I'm talking about?
No, no. Can you?
Man, I'm gonna
I
have to
don't
find
remember.
it.
I've commented a lot, so I don't remember
You
which
did
exactly.
you have. Oh man, I'm gonna have to. I should have already had it up. All right, I'm gonna pull it up for 1 second. Y'all, please listen. Um, we're
Come, like
going on
the
a.
difference between WBO and WBBA, like that.
Yeah, it was it
What
was
was
it
it
was
about?
it was like that. Let's see the comments. So no, it
Was
wasn't
it
on this
about
video.
Beyblade X, or no? Not the Beyblade X.
So we can hop on the Beyblade X a little bit later, but I think yeah, the issue with the WBO is not about the organization how they operate. It's about
Ah, okay, I remember now.
using the Beyblade brand intellectual property that they don't have rights to. They need to. Oh yeah, you said that, but
I
there was
remember now.
another one. I think the one that I was thinking of was when you were talking about the community aspect versus the organizational structure that like the WBBA has. And I apologize because I should have been better prepared for this to be able to. Um,
Okay, let me say something about the. I want to explain what's the difference between the brand and the product, because I
oh,
think some get confused about, if, like, for example, if you buy the Beyblade product, you get full ownership of the product, but not the brand.
mhm. What's up, Crisis?
So
He's explaining the WBA. Well, you'll hear him, brother.
no,
Go
the
go
brand.
ahead.
Yeah, I was explaining about the difference between a product and the brand, because I think most get confused about it. Like when you buy Beyblade, uh, when you buy a Beyblade, you get full ownership of the product, but you don't get ownership of the brand of the Beyblade. So that's where the confusion is. And I think the only one who has the full rights for the Beyblade brand is Hasbro. Like
Hmm.
they have their own like they are business partners. I think for they have a contract in place that that's why you may wonder that how come Hasbro is able to modify things, like modify it, the Beyblade itself through their through whatever they like,
Mhm.
because I think like based on my experience too, there is a contract that lets them do that, and
Yes.
this contract, it doesn't, like it comes with a price too, like a premium price to for Hasbro to be able to do something like that.
Hmm.
And I think that that so it's not only because some is fast to put blame on Hasbro, but I think like the on the pricing side, because they are paying Takara Tomy for these rights, like the like modifying these Beyblades to their own, to whatever they like. So,
Hmm.
and for I'm sure it doesn't come cheap. It comes with a big price. That's why it also affects the like how much they are selling the product here. It's not only the investors cut, but it's about their deal. Or
Yeah.
and this contract, it has duration. Like any contract has its limits and its own duration. And I believe that what they have is only for Beyblade, up to Beyblade Burst. So
Yep.
right now we don't know. Maybe they are still discussing behind the scenes for the what uh they will do for Beyblade X.
Hmm.
But yeah, so because some going back to to the product versus brand. So you
Yes.
cannot say that when you buy a Beyblade, you can do whatever you want with a brand, especially like do it in publicly, like you, for example, you modify a Beyblade rule, like a rule that came from Beyblade or Takara Tomy, and then you distribute it as your own.
Hmm.
It's like a common what's this copyright in like in YouTube, you get copyright strikes for doing
Yeah.
that.
100%. Like you can't get someone else's music and use it as like original.
Yeah, because it is a brand. It's not. Maybe some thought that Beyblade is a common name, like a general name, but it is a brand name that only those that has the right can do, or like Hasbro can that can do anything they want uh, for them to, or use it anyway in any way they want.
Mhm.
So yeah, because I saw some like comments also in WBO that if I buy a Beyblade, I can do whatever I want with it. It has its limitation only on the physical product itself, but not on the brand.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense because we can't, it's like, um, I guess that's with, well, I don't guess. I know it is with anything. And it's, if they have those, like the official copyright, for their product, um, we can't manipulate that in any way. Like I'm able to resell them. I buy them at wholesale and I can resell the product, but I cannot say that, hey, I am official to Cartomi. Um
Yeah,
like I have the rights to Cartomi, or I can't use their brand necessarily as marketing. And I can't use like Hasbro or Beyblade itself as marketing. It's just like, hey, I just like a hobby shop or just a regular retail store to where I legally purchase these items. They are mine. I'm able to resell them, and then that's that. Um, but yeah, I can't like walk around and say that I am the official owner and producer of these products because I'm not. Um, and that's a good aspect to look at and to look into. But I think I wanted to get on. Do you have any insight on WBO versus WBBA, as well as the organization and the play of it, or the structure they have within it?
mhm. For now, I think now uh, after seeing Beyblade X, it doesn't really. matter now because after seeing some the Babe what's this Beyblade what after seeing the initial plans on Beyblade X, I think it doesn't matter now of what's this WBO or WBA because they what's this rebranded it as B4.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the W like WBA is like a past for them. It's now B4, and then this the what's this the Beyblade X the Gear Sports they are trying to promote or to grow. Uh, uh, it only it's like they're focused mainly on the Beyblade X.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, man?
There we go. I was having the worst trouble trying to get this thing to work.
It's okay. So this is Endev. I know you talked to him. I found out a lot of good information. We were just talking about WBO and WBBA. Or mainly we were talking about the product of Beyblade versus like the brand versus the product. And but before that, before you hopped in, he was giving a lot of information about his involvement with Premiere and their YouTube channel, as well as some insight on BWC, which honestly I had no idea about. So I was glad we had him on the show regardless, because he always leaves great comments on our podcast episodes. But I also learned a great deal about his involvement within the competitive community or involvement with BWC as well as Beyblade Premiere. And yeah, he was just explaining about Beyblade X and how we may not see as much of a difference with WBBA versus WBO, or as the organizational. Well, not that we may not see a difference, but I think the difference may not matter as much. And I quoting you right there, or were you saying? Did I
Yeah.
get you wrong?
So because now I think what matters most for the Karatomi is the Beyblade X and the Gear Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like they set this they have released information about their tournaments like the G3, G2, G1, and GP. All of them only it is stated that it's only for Beyblade X. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that the any past generations like for example WBO can still continue what they're doing with the past generations it's still they can continue as is because Takara Tomy really doesn't matter doesn't care what about it anymore. All that their main focus is for the Beyblade X Gear Sports
Gear Sports.
because yeah, and because it's only like on the base rules, it's only for the Beyblade X. It the past generations you cannot use it on their Gear Sports or so. I guess because now before we didn't have any info about what what they're planning or what are their plans for Beyblade X. So now that we had some more infos and that currently now I think it WBBA really doesn't matter now as much as before because their main focus is the B4,
Yeah.
the Bay. I think Bay Battle Base. I forgot. Uh, Bay Battle Base. Yeah,
Yeah.
Beyblade Battle Base. Yeah,
So my question kind of, could they tell WBO you can't do anything Beyblade X, but you can do the other stuff?
yeah. I think it WBO should be careful on doing Beyblade X tournaments. Like if they want, for example, now we I don't know. I guess you have already saw some like battles of the Beyblade X battles and you
Mhm.
and I saw some like the in WBO we have the back wall rule and it's still you can still see that on the Beyblade X. So, like for example, if WBO make what's this host their tournament using the back wall rule on Beyblade X, I guess they will have trouble in that one. In that one,
Yeah.
because but anything not Beyblade X, I think Takara Tomy will not like they won't care anymore. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but anything on Beyblade X, I think we should follow it as it is to so that to be safe or just to be safe and to because we don't want to have to what's this to have any trouble in the future, so better follow it as it is and at the same time we WBO can still continue what they were doing on the previous generations.
Mm. I guess. Or Mike, did you want to answer that?
Well, I mean, I agree. I think that was one of the ways I was thinking of that they would logically end up doing it because they've shown in the past they don't really support any old generations at all, nor do they really seem to care about them. So it would make sense if they told us, hey, look, we don't care if you guys want to run tournaments for older generations and have fun with that, but Beyblade X, you just can't. You know,
Yeah,
we're trying to do this globally. We're trying to have
yeah,
everything on the same page. So you guys can't be going around having tournaments, you know, using our products when
but
we're trying to
different
be an
rules.
official sport.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because in establishing this it as a sports, there should be only one rule to follow and to
Yeah.
avoid confusion. Yeah, like
And that's one of the other things that I'm really curious about because if they're trying to get it globally and have all the like everything the same, they kind of can't be releasing products later in other countries than they do in Japan.
Yeah. I don't think they will. I think they're gonna squash. They may squash that. If anything, people might get it a month later, but I'm not entirely sure. Um, in Yu-Gi-Oh, did they have it like that where certain things releasing? Because I know,
Well, and like Yu-Gi-Oh, we're one set behind over there.
yeah, I was
But
gonna say. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, when Worlds rolls around, whatever is out already in Japan, like they can't use that.
Yeah,
Like in Worlds, they can't use it. So like same thing here, I guess. The same thing could happen. It's just the only thing is then Takara Tomy kind of has to do a thing where they're like, look, in your region, you can't like if you bought a Takara Tomy, you know, if you bought one of our Beyblades of the next Beyblade that comes out in a month, you can't use that at this tournament because it's not out in your region yet.
yeah. I've seen. So the biggest thing I play right now is League, and it's kind of like that. I know with the because you have your regional events like for North America, um, Korea, um, China, things like that, and it's not like new releases, but it's patches, and the game is from North America, or from the US, and they tend to play on the late patch. When other regions play, they're like a patch behind when it comes out, but when they all play together, they all have to play on the same one. So yeah, I could see that happening. Maybe they will be. I think that might be standard. I think for the creators of the game, like they will always have the newest of the releases. So we may
Yeah.
just be in a month behind from
Well,
Takara,
that's
what
one thing.
Japan.
If we're only a month behind, I'm okay with it. It's if we're like 6 months behind, I don't think I'm really okay with it. Like, 'cause
Yeah,
that's like a big gap in time that other countries they get to have 6 months of known formats beforehand. So by the time we would get to oh, hey, we're going to have our worlds, they know what has been good if something just releases within that
yeah,
same month. Like, they know, hey, this is good. We know the entire format. We don't have to play it. And that happens in like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff too. Japan has won, I think, like 90% of the world's tournaments for Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah. I could see that. And
But
Dev, I wanted to wait. Go ahead.
yeah, I want to add something. Like it's good that they do it first in Japan, because I think it's if rumors are correct or true, it will be by the end of this before the end of this year that we will have it, right?
Hmm.
So I think that from July until that time, it will be a testing phase in Japan, and then by the time it goes to other regions, like they can adjust what they think that they is needed to be adjusted or for the formats, and then they can apply it like the modified, like on the rules, like maybe the when it reaches here, it will be the modified one or like the more improved one, because they already done it in Japan, like from July to this to that certain period of time. So they will I guess I'm assuming that by within that time they will see like what areas or what topics needs to be addressed or to be improved or something like that.
Right.
No, yeah, I get that because it's like essentially we'll have a cleaner game by the time it comes out.
Yeah, yeah,
If there's any
Right.
yeah,
bans that need to be made or any adjustments that need to be made, we don't have to deal with that frustration if Japan is dealing with it first, and that may be
yeah.
one of the things that can definitely help. And I wanted to say on what you said because I've always looked at it, even when I talked to Mike about them being open. I was thinking about Beyblade X and having it, but now the more I am thinking with the backroll rule, even if it was brought up, I wasn't thinking of it as in depth as it causing confusion. Because I know they made a separate logo to show that it's not affiliated with the Beyblade X Gear Sports. If you wanted to use it to promote Beyblade, now that I am thinking of it in the regards of what you were saying in Dev, and possibly finally understanding what you're saying, what you were saying, Mike, is if they are using that logo and it is in some way confusing, because that was one of the things they didn't want it to be confusing. And if we're over here and pushing WBO and with the wild, well, I don't want to say wild rules, but the different rules that we have within the organization, and it's trying to, it, if the WBO contradicts heavily with what um Takara Tomy is doing, I could see maybe them talking to them to be like, hey man, chill out a little bit. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I have a strong hunch that the staff will decide to just use the rules that Takara Tomy have given for Beyblade X,
Hmm.
for WBO, because I mean, as we said before, they've kind of realized like changing the rules like that has caused some real issues already.
Yeah,
Like even Kay, like I said on the Zencast, he admits it. He was like, that was a stupid rule to kind of make, and we're just kind of stuck with it now. But
yeah.
that's only that came from Burst, so they can like you're not going to play Beyblade X in standard stadiums right now. You're going to play it in the Beyblade X stadium.
Some people probably
Like
gonna try.
I mean, it's probably going to be a very unfun game at that point, in my opinion.
I think the same.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
So
I think they made Beyblade X as like there's no cross compatibility with other generations, because
mhm.
if you use other base on the Extreme Dash Stadium, it will cost like it will cost the extreme rails or the ridges that some damage, which is we don't want to happen. And also at the same time, with when you use the Beyblade X on other stadium, the gears on the bit will also like not heavily damaged, but somehow it will affect the gears on it when it touches the ridges of the other stadiums.
I can see that. I can see it affecting the stadium and grinding down or wearing down the gears
Yeah,
because there's nothing to go into, and it's also going to be ripping through. Sorry, ripping through the stadium floor itself. Um, I can see that being more of an issue. I think Man, we even spoke about it. Love or hate the DB Stadium, but when the Beyblades were getting so big, they weren't designed for the standard stadium. They were designed for the DB Stadium, and even with the heavy stamina drivers that it was. Yes, I will admit now that Rubber Flats, and it kind of killed attack with the DB Stadium, but I think their focus was not for attack. Their focus was just for stamina. And in some regards, like, we have to respect that. But I have I guess another hot question on this. What do you all think on the popularity of the WBO once Gear Sports goes global? Do you think that the WBO will still be the go-to for Beyblade in the Western Hemisphere or within the North America? Or do you think people will be more inclined just to focus on Gear Sports?
I'll go. Who will go first? Me?
It don't
Yeah,
matter.
you're good. You're good. You can go.
I think. hmm,
That's a tough question.
Yeah, because I'm thinking how it will
Yeah,
affect.
yeah. I mean, it's something we haven't really said, but like right now, the community is the WBO because that's something big that we have. People have local tournaments outside of the WBO and smaller ones, and I've met
I,
some people who have issues with the WBO because of the way that it's structured and this and that. So there is a whole big community out there that's not a part of the WBO that loves Beyblade. So I know already they're going to jump on Gear Sports. But what about the
yeah,
WBO community itself?
I think for now, because we don't have yet like concrete information of how they will do it here. What we know for now is that they plan to have a representative here in the US before the end of the year.
Hmm.
So I guess for that, within that time period, we can still host tournaments uh, using the official rules from Takara Tomy,
Hmm.
and it will not because you still have the WBO. What's this? It will still be called as WBO tournament, and what's this? What I'm thinking of the right word.
No,
I
you're
think.
good.
Wait, uh, because I think the most important thing is to trend together. Like it doesn't matter if you're from WBO or if you're or somewhere else. Like if you're doing Beyblade X, it will help anyone that as long as your the main topic is is Beyblade X. Like
Hmm.
so when I think WBO just needs to be careful on like tagging their tournaments, like make sure that it is an unofficial Takaratomi or B4 tournament, just to be safe that on the tournaments that will be hosted here. So if if the tournament still goes on, I don't think that WBO like will will just go off as long as the WBO trends together with the Beyblade X. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if I said it correctly or did
No,
you.
no. What I took away was that as long as it's not interfering with what X has going on, or it's not trying to um produce itself as if it's affiliated with Gear Sports or any of like the B tournaments, then it should be fine. And I will say this, with the directors or WBO staff, I do know that they do tread lightly when it comes to certain things. I know they have Beyblade within the name, but I know they do not. They do try to tread lightly as far as not stepping on Hasbro or Takara Tommy's toes. That's why some things don't happen the way that we want them to. And even I would imagine some of the rules are a little bit different. So it's not like it's just straight copywriting. But it was a thought that I had. Mike, you got anything on that?
So one of the things, because given from the conversation we had earlier about how they could tell us, hey, WBO, you can do all the legacy stuff, but you can't do X. I mean, if we can't do X, then the WBO community is going to fall when it comes to X.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I think that when it comes to Beyblade X, I don't think it's going to be an immediate transition, but I do think a lot of players are going to transition to playing in gear sports.
Yeah.
And one of the big reasons for that is pricing.
Yeah.
Like, Takara Tomy, they're when you end up having like a company, maybe like a card shop or something that is going to be hosting tournaments, there'll probably be some sort of pricing, whether it's, you know, special layers or something from Takara Tomy, or, you know, maybe even the store gives store credit. You know, a lot of tournaments right now for the WBO, there are no pricing.
Yeah.
Like, zero pricing. Like the tournament we just had today, zero pricing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, high competitive players, they're going to think, well, if I'm doing good, I want to be rewarded for it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's one of the things. Am I cutting you off, or were you about to say?
No, you're pretty much good. I mean, I just basically think that eventually it'll be inevitable that competitive players will move to gear sports, and it's only going to be the people that are highly spirited in the old legacy format that are going to stay with the WBO, I think.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too, because when you think about the competitive aspect, well, there's a lot of things, like pricing is there. The ranked tournaments, what people come to, or unranked. Well, let me say unranked. They want to come because they want to go to a Beyblade tournament, get around their friends, and have fun. When it comes to ranked and they're traveling so far, they're worried about the rank. Gear sports, that is more of an official thing. That is where more of the competition is going to be. That is going to draw more of the competitive players in. So in that aspect, the rank kind of goes away because the rank is only within the WBO and it's not affiliated with the gear sports genre. Another big thing is the marketing. And I've talked to the WBO, several people have talked to the WBO. We put posts up about things for the marketing of the WBO. It is lackluster. And I apologize because I do consider you a friend who's in charge of marketing, and I'm not throwing it on you. But I know you just got into it, so it's not the whole length of time. Before the time that I've been involved with the WBO since 2020, there hasn't been a lot of marketing push forward. Marketing for Beyblade comes from the anime. Takara Tomy produces the anime. Their marketing is already there. I mean, they don't even have an anime out right now, and we're all hype on Gear Sports just from a couple of YouTube videos that we've seen, or several YouTube videos that we've seen, as well as YouTubers promoting it. So the marketing is 100% there. When new kids come or new players want to come, they're going to see X. And you can even look at it now. Like, we have older formats. We have metal. We have plastic. We have HMS. Those tournaments aren't as big because they're older. It's harder to get those parts. There will come a time in the very distant future, because burst was so huge, that we won't be able to get burst like that, and people are going to move on to the next thing. That's why burst tournaments are so popular, because it is the newest thing. It's what kids can go to the store and get, and the animes that they watch, and they want to come out and play like that. And soon it's going to be X, when that hopefully at the end of this year. So it is a thought process on what the community can or can't do, the transitions that WBO will have to make to stay relevant, even if they do want to stay relevant. I don't even know what their mindset is on what they want to do. It could just be like, hey, let's just focus on X as long as we're playing Beyblade together. I'm not sure.
And okay, so let me add also, because right now we have burst is the main what's this main generation, right, before
Yeah,
the Beyblade X. Even with the burst, we still have like metal fight community or plastic community. It didn't go away. So
Yeah.
when Beyblade X comes, it will be the same. There will still be the community for the plastic generation, the metal fight generation, and then now the burst generation will be part of those community. It will not just die or go away. It will still be there. But the focus will be more on the Beyblade X.
Yes.
Yep.
100%. Because now the
Mm.
big tournaments that we're having, when we're promoting this big tournaments, whether it's the circuit, whether it's BWC, Summer Games, Challenger, whatever, those formats here are burst.
Yeah.
They're
So
the
it will
most.
be like that. Instead of burst, it will be like the Beyblade X,
Mm-hmm.
and then the burst will be like. Uh, sorry to cut you off.
No. You're 100% fine. And yeah, that's what I was thinking on the relevance of it. Because I know with me being competitive, and I do want to play the newest thing, and I would want to play it on the structured scale that Takara Tomy could offer. Um, it may sound bad, it may offend the heavy WBO enthusiasts, but I would love to play that more so than with the issues that we have had with or I've had with the WBO. It's just a cleaner game. Uh, the structure and the organization for it, I am looking forward to that and hoping for it whenever it comes and whatever they plan to do. Now there will be some downfalls, because like I said on the last episode, we won't like our input may not matter as much. I say that, but that that could also be false because every single competitive game they have representatives, like usually the pro players who they consider the pros, that go and they play and they still give input and feedback. Not saying like that I'm a pro or anything like that, but they still do listen to the players because ultimately it's the players that play the game to help them to get the sales because everyone wants to play what the pros are playing. So yeah, there is that also. Um, well, we jumped right into the Beyblade X. I guess. Okay, yeah, we jumped into it. Then we started talking about, I guess, the seriousness behind it. But are you excited for the new generation in Dev? And have you what are your thoughts on the system as far as the gameplay and competitiveness or anything like that?
Yeah. About the gameplay, I think it will be more on what's this, how you like the skill will be on how uh, on the launch power and where you place or where you drop the bay.
Hmm.
Like for example, if you launch it flat at the center, it will for sure, and launch it hard flat at the center, it will for sure. If you will do that if you want to maximize the extreme rails, because yeah, at some after launching it flat, it will for sure go to the rails if that is what you want to do. And then, for example, the shape it's of the stadium, it's like an apple shaped stadium, right?
Hmm.
There's the curve on top, two curves on top. Like on the vi- I saw on one video on one battle that the guy like he dropped his bay, he launched his bay on the curve on top. Yes, because it's like an apple shape, the left side and the right side.
Hmm.
Since we have all right spins, the base are utilizing the right side of the stadium. It's
Hmm.
doing the extreme dash on the right side of the stadium. But if you drop your bay on the like on the curve on top on the curve, like if you want to hide your bay on that part, you can
On
do
the
it
on the
so
left
that
on the left side.
yeah, on the left side on the like on the curve on top.
Hmm.
Because I saw someone tried to do it,
I've seen that.
and
That's typically where they launch at when they're on that side.
they
At
want
least
if you want
on
to hide your if you want to avoid the first 2 or 3 seconds of extreme rails or extreme dash of your opponent, you can do that. Like it will be, and then one more thing is one more thing that I think people are sleeping on is the what's this the battle pass.
Oh,
I
the
think
battle
it
pass.
will be, yeah, I think it will be, because I was actually planning to do a content on it, but I guess I'll say it here first so that
Yeah, we get
uh,
the
to-
exclusive. Nice.
because it I think it will be a very crucial part of the competitive scene,
Hmm.
because you will have a tool to measure your launch power.
Hmm.
For example, and that one you will be needing that if you want to practice your launch. Like if you launch, for example, for a 9,000, if you launch based from the app, let's say you launch it with a 9,000 power, and this is what will happen. This will be
The
what
results.
the moment what's this the behavior of your bay when you launch it at this power. Let's
Yeah.
say you launch it at 4,000 power, because yeah, like that. And then when you launch it on different place with this power, what will be the behavior of the bay? Like
Oh,
you will see you can use it to observe what will be the reaction of the bay or the behavior of the bay when you launch it at this power on a specific place.
you know, that's
Do you get my point?
100%. Yeah. Because I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that being another aspect of the game. Because I didn't play when we had the Bay logger. But even so, I don't even know if when
Yeah,
that was thing, if
uh,
people were even thinking about that.
I
Because I go ahead.
I was planning a content of that, but I wanted to try it first before I release the content, because for now that's what I think of the main use of the battle pass. It will
Mhm.
be your training tool,
Yeah,
like the tool that will help you like train your launch. Or
yeah,
because and then when you change the bit of the base, it will also have a different behavior. So you need to study what will be the base behavior when you launch at this power at this place, like that.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that because that's another like technical skill within the game. I think that I definitely know I know I definitely overlooked. Um because we do have like in burst or other formats, like we do have the angled launch. We have flat launches, you want to try to get a flower pattern or something like that, and we have soft launches. And we kind of just do that off of feel. But to be able to actually gauge what the power of our launch is, because in the stadium we will all typically be launching flat, or I feel like we should be, but then there's going to be different like strengths or weaknesses that we have to look at, like you said, with the bit, as and getting those accurate readings on how much power that we are launching with, and be able to use that for our data and testing. I didn't think of that. That's really good insight. Like, thanks you for putting that out. I'm looking forward to whenever you do get in and you put your videos out, what you can see, and I know I'll be testing like that as well.
Yeah, the also you mentioned the angle of your launching it. It will also affect the behavior of the bay. So yeah, it's part of the like discovering what we can do competitively on this new batch of Beyblades.
Hmm. Hmm. Mike, did you have any thoughts on that, on the strength of the launch, like using that Baylogger for that? Because I only really thought about it just using it for points, not as much for my testing, but for testing, that is solid as well.
Yeah, I'll give that this. I never really like fully thought of that. I mean, it makes perfect sense because that's one thing. Like right now, like you can't put a number to how hard you pulled the launcher right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and it's important. It's part of the game right now, actually.
Right. So it's definitely something that I guarantee you a lot of competitive players would have eventually have thought of that the more they played with it. It's
Mhm.
just and Dev here obviously is ahead of the curve.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and Dev's got big brain, because it was like when we when we played with the power gear, like that's the first thing I thought of. And Mike, you had mentioned it when, like, you don't need to pull as hard when you had the power gear,
Yeah.
um because it just helps you. But to actually get an accurate reading, okay, it'll be like, what happens when I do pull hard? and you could look at the performance and then find that sweet spot to be like, I don't need to pull super hard, but I don't need to pull super soft. Like, when am I pulling hard enough to where I'm letting the gear do most of the work and I'm not jerking it or acting crazy, or I'm pulling too hard to where it's not really even effective. And we get to put a number on that. So I think that's sweet. Yeah, man, that's a good insight. That's good insight. I love having these, like, I know we have the Beyblade X discussions on all these the latest podcasts, but the main thing is because, I mean, it's coming out, it's the biggest thing, but I think every time we learn something different or we get a different viewpoint on how it's going to be when it releases. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Mike, were you up here when he was talking about BWC and the formats and things like that?
No, I was not.
Yeah, because he helped Conch, or he gave him some tips and advice on how things were ran. He doesn't know for sure how it's all going to be, but I told him people are probably going to be blowing up his inbox asking him what's going on, because he did help with the structure of BWC.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the unfortunate thing with BWC is, like we said yesterday with Alan, we just don't really fully know what's going on, and we're coming up 2 weeks on it. Like, we don't. There's a disclaimer about if it gets canceled. No one's heard from Conte to know, hey, has all this family stuff been such an issue that you might have to cancel it? We don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just the scary part, because a lot of people have already put money out for their trips, and it's like, did I just throw money in the trash can?
Yeah. And Dev, are you going?
Yeah. Sorry.
Are
No,
you going?
unfortunately, I will not be able to travel there.
Uh,
I wanted, but yeah, I won't be able.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also to add to Crisis, what I saw I saw that because I'm on Beyblade Premier's Discord, I'm also observing on that one, and I saw like there are a lot of messages like this, and then Crisis also like asked something about, yeah, you messaged there, right? And then at some point I also felt like so, people needs to hear or something about it. Although I don't have really a direct connection with Gonse, but I'm just trying to answer some question or help us or help as
Right.
much as possible, like some clarification. But also I'm just like you. I don't know what's happening to Conce right now.
Right.
The last it's been a long time. I also messaged him before. Like I didn't for some things. Then I also didn't have any replies on it
Yeah.
about it.
Because like I've said before, like in our reality, when I get to BWC, like if I don't fully understand the format from what has been written on the things, I'm just gonna wing it anyway. I'll just wing it. I'm not worried about that part. I'm just worried about the part of wondering, am I taking off of work for no reason?
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And I think for me this BWC is like the most important tournament of Beyblade Verse, because it will be just before the Beyblade X, and I think this will be the ultimate test of who's really the best on Beyblade Burst just before the Beyblade X arrives. And
Yeah.
it will be sad if it will be unfortunate if these things get cancelled, if this tournament gets cancelled, but hopefully it would not be like that, because for me, like, so we have WBO rankings. The rankings are just for me it's just the representation of how good you are in your local area, because you get most of your points, like 90% of the points you farmed it through you're playing with the guys in your local area. So it is a
Correct.
best representation of how good you are in your area, but not in a national level. The only way you can gauge that or to know if you are how good you are is if you battle other people, the best bladers on other states or other areas. So, and this BWC is the tournament that will what's it? This is the tournament where we will know who really is the best on the at least here in the mostly here in the US.
Yes, in the US. Yeah. It's it's
It's
something.
like before the Beyblade X, the whoever wins the King of the Hill, like he will be remembered as the best like blader just before the Beyblade X arrives.
Right.
Hopefully,
Yeah. It's
go
it's
ahead, Mike.
it's a it's a it's just very confusing, because it's just radio silence, and we're 2 weeks away. Like, when you're 2 weeks away, you kind of like can't
Yeah,
have just radio silence. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like you start to think like what most people are feeling right now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
On the
brighter
like,
side of things.
yeah, on the brighter side of things, how did y'all's tournament go today?
It was all right. It was hot, so we have a pavilion. And normally we get there and we're able to get the pavilion set up. We got there at about 9:30. Me and Alan Schaefer got there early, and someone had already set up for a birthday party. But we're like, okay, it's 9:30. So we asked them, we're like, hey, what time is your birthday? When do you expect to be done? Oh, our birthday party's at 2:00.
Oh well.
So we're just kind of like,
Oh,
okay, I guess we're not having it at the pavilion. Now, in this park, there's only one pavilion, and it's first
Yeah.
come, first serve.
Was that Martin Luther King?
Yeah, Martin Luther King.
Right.
So we ended up. Luckily, we brought some tables, so we set up at the basketball court in the in the corner of it, and it was fine. But there was no shade for us to play, so it was
burning.
hot.
Yeah.
And of course, we had 39 players, so that's 6 rounds of Swiss. And by the end of the day, we were drained. And those of us that made it in top 8, we really didn't even want to play anymore. Like, we were ready to go home.
Yeah.
So like, I played Andy Kirito in top 8. I beat him, and then I played Alan Schaefer in top 4. He beat me. And then I ended up playing Brogito for 3rd place, and Brogito won, so I got 4th.
Okay.
I went 5-1. I lost to Kirito in Swiss, so that happened there. I mean, ultimately, it wasn't a great day for me, but I think a big part of it though was once we got into Top Cut, I think I was just exhausted and the heat was really killing me. To be fair,
yeah,
like I was done. 6 rounds in straight heat with no shade was way too much for me.
Yeah. Who won it overall?
JC Makenburst won overall. Allen got 2nd, and Brogito got 3rd.
Solid. Yeah, y'all had a.
It was a long, hard tournament.
Yeah.
that's a lot of players. 39.
Yeah. They typically have I think y'all have the consistently biggest turnouts for tournaments.
When we have them at Martin Luther King, yeah, they are pretty ridiculous in size.
Yeah. I remember that basketball court too. There is no shade over there. The only shade y'all have is just that little pavilion.
Yep.
Yeah. But at least the court's big, but I know it's hot. I know it's burning up.
Yeah, it was burning.
Yeah, here you cannot just host tournament right now because summer here in Arizona is really hot.
Oh, dang.
Say.
Yeah, we talk about the heat over here. Arizona is the hottest state I've ever been to in my life. Like, let me say, I tell you, Florida Florida is hot. Florida has crazy humidity. We have humidity here in North Carolina. There's humidity everywhere. Florida has a different, like, it's kind of like a sticky, super uncomfortable heat down in Florida.
It's like a desert heat.
But Arizona was the hottest. It was like, it's just the dry heat to where I was
Yeah.
walking into the grocery store, my sneakers and my feet were still burning. And it's a different type of heat. It's like you can't breathe, because at least for me, not being there, I did not like it. It's like when you get outside in the snow or something and you're trying to rush to get inside, like walking from your car or something. That's how it was with the heat. I was pumping my gas. I was scared I was gonna burst into flames. It's hot out there. I can't imagine y'all playing outside.
Yeah.
That's why the last tournament we had, it was indoor.
Yeah.
But the first two, it was in the park. It was still uh, winter time here. But only the summertime is really hot. But the rest, it's fine.
I can see Beyblades melting out there. I'm not trying to. I ain't even joking. Like Arizona was the hottest I've ever been in my life. I drove through there. It was a few years. It was when I was transiting to North Carolina back in like 2016 through the summer, and I will never forget it. That will always be the hottest place I've ever been to in my life.
Arizona.
I hope it's the hottest place I've ever been to in my life. But right now, yeah, it ranks as number one. I got a buddy, he's from Florida, and I will admit, like, yeah, in Florida it gets hot, you're sweating when you step outside, but it's like the humidity that makes it uncomfortable. But as far as like pure heat, just pure sun, nothing else affecting you, it was Arizona. Arizona took the cake. But yeah, did you have anything for us in Dev? Any questions or topics you wanted to discuss?
What else? I think no, I don't have any.
It's all good. I think we covered quite a bit. I know Mike hopped up here a little bit later. Mike, did you have anything you wanted to ask him or talk
No,
about?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, it was
Tired anyway.
yeah, I know after the tournaments, man, I knew you had your tournament today, so I didn't want to like stress you too much, but I did want to get him up here because I always like his comments on our posts, and you have a lot of good insight. I like what you said about the battle pass. I like what you said about the product versus the brand. Our focus on the WBO and going into gear sports. I think we had a lot of good topics of discussion. I'm gonna put your YouTube channel, even though y'all are. I always say that when we interview like the big YouTubers, like I'm helping them. I went into Krispy Kreme one day to leave a Beyblade there, to be like, yeah, people are gonna come in here and this and that, and they looked at me like, this Beyblade isn't gonna help us with business, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like this Krispy Kreme, they're gonna have people coming in there regardless. It's like McDonald's. For gaming isn't gonna help y'all make any income, but it's still. I'm gonna do it for the shout out.
Yeah.
And it's I do appreciate you hopping up here. I'll put your Instagram up too if you're as long as you're cool with that. And
Yeah.
yeah, once again, thank you. So I'm gonna let you get some rest, Mike, and Dev, thank you for coming up here. Tell your family thank you for that I said thank you for giving us your time, and everyone out there listening. Continue to, like as always, grow your community, have fun, get ready for gear sports whenever it does come out, and here, and ultimately, continue to play Beyblade, whether it's whatever format or whatever you wanted to do, old school, new school. Continue to spread the word, and let's grow together. And on that note, everyone, take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.